back to talk to us. Congratulations on the victory. We were just talking there about the impact that Joshua Zirkzee can have, and Zirkzee and the impact that he can have in this team.
Subs always very important, and it was good to see first game that you bring a sub and he scores the winning. So that's I think very good for the team process, for the spirit in the group, and then everyone sees how important subs are, that they have to be ready.
I know the guys will probably want to come back on that in a second, but just overall, how do you see that game as the opening game of the season, with the injuries that you've had coming into it, and the players still recovering really from the Euros?
Yes, and you know, against Fulham is always a difficult game. They are very good on the ball, but I think we defended, especially we pressed very well. After I think 10-12 minutes, we found our spell in the game, and we kept them under pressure, and they had I think a lot of trouble. They didn't came out of the pressure, which was good, and we created a lot of chances, I think, and we should have scored earlier. So that's the only criticism I have on the team. Kill in the box.
Eric, last season obviously there was problems changing the defence all the time. You've changed the defence again quite a few times tonight, but how important was a clean sheet?
It's always very important, and we know we had 2 seasons ago we had the most clean sheets in the Premier League, and I know when we have our consistent back four, then we will defend properly. It's so important to have a high line, so that the midfielders can go forward, and we get the jumps from the midfielders and the wingers. If you don't have a consistent back four, no patterns, no routines, then the gaps will come.
And Mazraoui, you must have been really happy with him.
Yeah, so I know him like this, and he's a great defender, but as I said before the game, also very composed on the ball, attacking. He's not in full condition in this moment. When he gets 100% fitness, he can do much more, but I'm very pleased with his performance. He kept for 70-75 minutes, and now he has to build his fitness.
Eric, I want to go back to Zirkzee, who come on. He obviously got the goal. The fans will be delighted, but I looked at him when he was at Bologna and looked at some of his stats. He had more touches than any striker in Serie A. Is what we saw tonight, he's not just a goal scorer, he actually gets involved in the build-up as well. We saw passages of play where he was involved tonight on the ball.
Yes, but scoring for a striker is important, and he should be there where he was to finish, to kill. But yeah, he has more qualities, so he has to get the right balance, and we have to work with him. I think that is one of the things I spoke with him about, that he has to be arrivals in the box and to get his finishes. But of course we want him to link up, therefore also for that attribute we bought him, and he have great qualities to make that link up play, and we have some great midfielders around him who we can make combinations so we can take control of the game.
Sorry, Roy, I thought you were coming in there.
I'm just listening, Karen.
He's not asking today, Noxing.
He's just here for the information. He's just
a good vibe going on. I'm just chilling out.
the information.
You don't want to spoil the vibe? No.
Hey, not tonight. Next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
I know. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll be waiting.
Oh no, we'll always come.
Just keep winning. It's easy. Just keep winning. No problem.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But the vibes are created by the victory. They're created by that late winner, and so it's a great way to start the season. It's the 8th time Manchester United have won their opening game of the season in the last 10 seasons. So it's a good platform to build on.
Yeah, it's just first game, and but it's good to strengthen the belief, the confidence in the team, but it's not only the win, but also the performance is okay. And I have seen many spaces where we can and where we have to improve, but that's normal. First game of the season.
Yeah, but it's a happy dressing room, isn't it? It's nice. It's a happy dressing room.
Yeah, very.
When you win, for the new players to get that belief and confidence.
Yeah, sure. And I see some nice debut. Yeah, you mentioned Zirkzee, you mentioned Mazraoui, but also I think the others who came in, De Ligt, Johnny Evans and Scott McTominay, they all contributed to this win.
Was Harry Maguire injured, Eric, when you brought him off?
Not injured, but I had to bring him off because he had a problem.
Okay.
Before he gets injured, so precaution.
Okay.
Yeah, safety first with a long season ahead.
That is maybe, the win is very important, of course, but I'm so happy, no injuries today.
Yeah. So a double bonus.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Good to talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Roy, thank you. And I wait for you.
I can thank you. Thanks.
It's been me for many years. No, look, tonight they had to win, and it didn't look like they were going to for large parts of that game. But it's critical that they got. I think clean sheets are important. I think they were better defensively than they were last season. There's no doubt about that. And I think actually bringing on defenders and having that strength in depth, the squad looks bigger and thicker. Obviously, they've got a couple of players to come back into it. It wasn't spectacular football, but I don't expect the way in which they're set up tonight to ever play spectacular football. But it's positive. It's generally positive. I thought Xerxes coming on scoring the winner, to have that sort of presence to replace Højlund, obviously when he's not fit, is important. You know, United have struggled in that position for a couple of years.
I think for United tonight, when you're watching them, there was a few signs of what we saw last season, but it was nowhere near what we saw last season. So there was times when Fulham counter-attacked against them and probably should have done better, but it wasn't what we saw here last season. And we talk about that with United a lot, but a problem for them last season was scoring goals. I mean, I think Fulham they scored 2 more than Fulham last season, and Fulham are a sort of really organised, a little bit defensive at times type of team. So they missed chances tonight. So when you think about did they deserve to win, yes, they weren't spectacular, but they had some big chances, United, and didn't take them. And going forward, that's again, they've got to be more clinical.
That's what I wonder if the difference that a player like Xerxes brings in, particularly as we started off by saying in the absence of Højlund, the fact that they are now taking those chances in the way that they weren't before he was on the pitch.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your attacking players. And Eric mentioned particularly players off the bench. And I tell you, it was a brilliant finish. I thought it was a really good finish. We couldn't figure out, what was it, an OG, how we got the connection on it. His link up, he was neat and tidy. And sometimes you need a player to come to your club that's kind of under the radar in terms of his signing. And then this is really poor from Fulham here. Poor, is it Kearney trying to nick the ball there? Ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, United, you did feel United were a threat. Yeah, they need to punish teams a bit more, but hopefully that will come. But even his link up there, listen, nice and simple, gives it wide, and what you want any of your strikers then to get into the box. And I think that's a beautiful finish, absolutely lovely goal. And for a new player to come to your club, particularly for attacking players, to score on your debut is huge.
Yeah, look, when everyone thinks that you're going to run forward near the end of the game, he stands still and picks up the ball deep. And that tells you that maybe he could play at times with Højlund as Højlund gets fit later in the season and play off him. But like I say, to get into the ball, he uses the pace on the ball and just deflects it into that far corner. And it is, I mean, I wasn't sure. We were commentating, and I was actually saying to Rob Hawthorne, I probably made it more difficult for him, because I actually thought it was an own goal. I thought Bassi had actually put it in his own net, but it wasn't when you see it from that angle.
No, it was very much his goal, and he will certainly be claiming it his first goal on his Premier League debut for Manchester United, for Joshua Zirkzee, as Manchester United get that 1-0 victory and a great start to the...
It'd have to be. It was embarrassing for large parts of last season. It was pathetic in certain games, and you wondered what the hell was going on. And the manager, as we said before the game, will find himself in a position where he'll think, he will have thought for the last few weeks of the season, the way in which he was doing interviews, that he was going to get sacked. And then the City game changed everything. So, where they are now, I think, is a strong position from where they were, and they will be better, but there's still a lot of work, and there'll be some pain along the way, I think.
Yeah, they did concede those opportunities to Fulham, and if one of those had gone in, we could have been telling a very different story at this time of night.
I mean, the big one was when Martinez dived in on the halfway line. I think it was Pereira who was running at Harry Maguire, and he doesn't get that pass. You get that pass right, there's a great chance that Fulham maybe take the lead. And listen, we've seen this a lot last season on that counter-attack, pace running behind, but they just didn't capitalise, Fulham. And at this stage in the game, it did look like they were going to be the team to go on and win it. I mean, that is such a poor pass when you're thinking about the level that we're talking about here, Premier League level. I mean, Harry Maguire does well in the end. You've got to give him a bit of credit. But in that situation, any team in the Premier League has got to be running at the goalkeeper and backing your man to finish. And there's a couple of others as well. As I said, on the counter-attack, there was still that threat there from Fulham. We've seen it, not as much tonight that we saw at times last season, but situations like this, better teams will capitalise there and hurt you. But, I mean, coming in tonight, listen, the first game of the season, there's a little bit of pressure for every team because of the situation. It was the first game, you want to get off to a good start, but more importantly for Manchester United, because we know the situation with the manager and what happened at the end of last season, but that is so poor.
Just watch Iwobi here, and he stands, if he just goes and makes the run in, Iwobi the 17, he just stands still and
The decision making and final pass from.
Oh.
Getting interrupted.
An issue with the final pass, but no issue with the clearance, which came from Lisandro Martinez, who joins us now. Thank you so much for coming over to talk to us. I imagine from your perspective, not just nice to get the win, but nice to get a clean sheet.
Yeah, for sure. It's really important, but the most important thing is the 3 points. Good start, and still we have to improve a lot.
The guys have talked a lot about how much there's been change in Manchester United's defence, and again, there were changes throughout the match this evening. How difficult does that make your job, or do you just have to adapt to it?
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult to play for this big club, big pressure, but we love that. We love that we have to play in the positive way. We have to take that pressure, and we have to take this responsibility. And yeah, like today, for example, we had good connection with the team, with the subs, with the fans as well. So yeah, for me, I'm really proud to play for this club.
Lisandro, sometimes I played centre-back and then moved to right-back. You've obviously played most of your United career at centre-back, but you played a couple of games at left-back. How do you find it at left-back? Are you comfortable there?
Well, like you said, I didn't play many games as a left fullback, but as a player, we have to give alternative to the team. If the team need me there, I will give everything. So, and even everyone, I think everyone is ready to play for every position. But if I have to play there, I will give everything from my side.
Fullback's easier, isn't it? Fullback's easier. Yeah. That's what we're trying to get across to you. Yeah.
Lisandro, early in the game, you had to deal with Traore on that side. Mm-hmm. He went past you and Casemiro.
I was ready for that. I think the first two games I didn't play well, and I take the responsibility. I'm ready for everything, for criticize, for everything. It's part of our job. If we are here to show for excuses, yeah, we are not ready for this club, especially in this club. If you play bad, be ready for the criticize. So I was ready for that. I think the first two games I didn't play well, and I take the responsibility. And I said, one more, and then everything changed in football.
Lisandro, when you come from the Dutch league, did you think about like the English Premier League, maybe long ball, maybe more set pieces? Did you think about that yourself in terms of how you would deal with that, coming to like sort of the Premier League and coming from the Dutch league?
Well, first of all, I always believe in myself. I always believe in my strength as well. I know that I'm not tall, really tall, but I will win. I will go with personality in every ball, every duel. I will show that I'm there in the pitch, and also to get that connection with my teammate. If you win the first ball, if you win the duel, your teammate will say, "Hey, I should work like you." So that's a measure for me. And yeah, it's different league, absolutely different system as well. In Ajax, I think in every game we control more the game. And here in Manchester, we are trying. Today, for example, we show in the first half playing in the half of the pitch. We show good moments, but I think it's really different. It's really different. Here is you play against Fulham, against every team, and everyone is quick, strong, good with the ball. So yeah.
Does it help that there are, I think, 5 players now who have that Ajax connection? Does it help that they can understand what everybody else wants to do and what Erik ten Hag wants them to do?
Yeah, well, it's a good point because when you know the system, when you know how the team wants to play, I think it's better. I think, for example, the new signing will directly from day one, they knew how we have to play, how to press. So yeah, it's good.
Thank you very much, Lisandro, for coming out to talk to us. Congratulations on the win. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
He should speak more after games. Obviously, that's the first time that I think we've seen him come out and do an interview like that. Obviously, learning the language and getting used to it. But I think when you hear him speak like that, it gives an authority and a belief to the dressing room because he's confident in himself.
What was it you took from the interview then? What was it that he said that impressed you?
I just think his manner. I mean, obviously the fact that he'd had a right go at him at the start of last season, he fronted up to it and didn't sort of. I think that's a good. He's got a massive personality on the pitch. I think when United have got him in the team, they're a lot more aggressive. he wants to win. That Argentinian sort of fight and spirit is just there right the way through. And I think the fact that he speaks with a level of belief and authority will give his teammates comfort.
That was a brilliant interview, because I mean he's giving you sort of a little bit of tactical insight in terms of the team. He's speaking about other players, and you know what he did? He didn't come on and sort of make excuses. Of course, you know, we criticise players or we analyse them, and sometimes we give them praise, but to come on and say, I'm playing for Man United. If you think you can come here and not be sort of questioned, looked at, criticised, and he was heavily criticised at the start of the last season. Obviously, he said I didn't play my best football, you know, when he first came in the first 2 games. But that type of personality to come up and front that and not look for excuses, he looks like he's a warrior. You can see that when he plays. But
Joshua, you were brought on to make an impact in this match just past the hour mark, and you did that in some style.
Yeah. To win here in my first home game and to grab a goal is, couldn't be better.
To grab a goal in the manner in which you did, late on, but also in front of the Stretford end as well.
Yeah, I've been told that it's one of the best feelings here at Man United, so I'm just very thankful and blessed that I could experience it in my first game, of course. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
Okay, you've been told it's a good feeling. Tell us what that feeling then is like, or are the emotions in your head right now just so busy?
It's a bit busy, but end of the day, we got the win, and that's all we wanted. That's all the fans deserve. So to have this as an extra is just beautiful. I can't really explain the feeling. It's just very nice.
What's the feeling been like then since you came here to Manchester United?
Yeah, it's great. The squad is very, very nice. I feel very warm here, and it's a great team. We want to achieve something great. It's just been amazing. It's been a dream actually. But just taking it in day by day and just work hard and that's it.
Taking it in day by day. What did the manager say to you before this match? Did you have an idea you were going to come on?
Just bringing energy. Help the team as much as possible. Just that.
And what has he said about the season as a whole, as a new player coming in? What has he said to you?
Nothing too specific. I mean, Manchester is a huge club, so you should always strive for the best. That includes day by day just giving 100%, and that's the plan.
I'm kind of feeling it's all the good vibes with you right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no negative vibes after a game like this, so it's just all good vibes.
But the thing is, all good vibes. You got a good goal as well in front of the Stretford end, all the memories that you can make, and you've also bagged yourself player of the match.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, good feeling. That's very nice. It's gonna come on top of the shelf at home.
Top of the shelf. Good debut as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
It does take players 1 or 2 seasons to settle into a club and the system, particularly when they pick up some injuries. So we have to give the benefit to certain players. It might take 12 months to 2 seasons to settle into the club. So we should maybe sometimes give players the benefit of the doubt.
And also, he had injuries last season. I think only made 8 starts in the Premier League, and Ten Hag talked about how much they missed them. But I noticed that you enjoyed when he was talking about that battle with Adama Traore, and he was like, "You got me once, but the next time I got him."
And that's the name of the game. You will obviously lose a few battles, but I think just looking into his eyes there, he seems to enjoy that physical side of it as small as he is. But
that's the thing we've now realised. Not that small.
Do you know what he showed?
We all went like that.
when you listen, he's got a bit of a personality, hasn't he? He's got a bit of character. And we talked about the technical ability of a footballer for Man United, but I keep going back to it. You need a bit of character, you need to show personality, and he looks like he's got plenty of that.
So where does he play then? You asked him about how comfortable he was playing at left back or whether he wants to play at centre back. What happens when De Ligt comes in?
Look, I said before the game, I think, Roy, you agreed that with the centre-backs they've got, when they're all fit, it wouldn't surprise me if, with the makeup of the squad, that they did go to a 3 at times this season. I don't know why, I just feel like that there could be it could suit them. I think De Ligt and Martinez probably will be the two that he'll go with at the point whereby it settles down and they're all fit and everyone's firing. But it wouldn't surprise me also if he did go to a back three at some points.
No, it's got to be De Ligt and Martinez. I think that will be the partnership. Listen, at times they might go to a three. I don't see that. I can't think of the top of my head of him playing a three too often. If he's
no,
I can't remember. I mean, I'm not sure he's played it since he come, has he? I'm not sure.
No.
But I know what you're saying. There's a lot of centre backs there, but being totally honest, Johnny Evans has probably come in to help the club out last season and finds himself here. And Harry Maguire he's probably not going to find himself his first choices. You're not going to play him and De Ligt together, probably too similar. So I would imagine De Ligt and Martinez would play.
Yeah, and that is what Erik ten Hag wants to be able to do. But obviously there are issues at left back for Manchester United. In the meantime, he can perform more than capably in that position.
They've got problems at full back just generally, haven't they? I mean, Dalot's had to go over to the left tonight. Shaw and Malacia now have been injured too often to think that you can rely on them. That's a real shame, particularly for Luke Shaw, who I think when he is fit is an outstanding performer, but he's a long-term absentee quite often for United, and you're ending up now with a right-footed left back, and it does create an imbalance. It is a problem for United, that.
Mazraoui, though, I know you were just having a chat before we came on. Now you were both impressed with how he performed, particularly for a debut.
I just thought the fact that Fulham have got pace in wide areas. It's a big pitch, Old Trafford. It's his first game. He's only just joined the club. I actually thought he had a really, really good game. Settled in really well.
Maybe steady where wasn't he? The standard of the game wasn't great. Let's not be kidded on by that. But again, it's the first game of the season, and he done the basics well. He looks like he got through it fine. Looks a decent athlete. So yeah, that was a good tackle there. So he'd be pleased. And again, when you go to a club and to get the victory and the clean sheet, particularly for a defender, they'll be delighted.
I mean, even though it's an easy position to play, as Roy says, it's still got to do a little bit.
Easiest on the pitch, trust me.
It's harder than it used to be. I believe. Look, when you have a team who start the season like this, in a season like that follows on from a tournament, Manchester United, I think, had 8 players who were off either the Euros or the Copa America. Is there an element of pre-season actually about some of the games in the Premier League at this stage?
Yeah, and I think that goes back to Ten Hag's comments before the game, talking about not being ready. I think they were completely sort of taken out of context. I think no team are going to be 100% first day, because we all know as players it probably takes you 3 or 4 games to feel like you're getting up to speed. And I think that's what he meant when he said that, and I think it was just blew out of proportion with some of the headlines. I think every manager would say exactly the same, really. You're trying to integrate new players. You've got players, as I said, who come back late, probably only on the 3rd game, maybe played a couple of pre-season games. So I think everybody's in that situation. But I go back to something I said earlier. I mean, we know the stakes are high for United and Erik ten Hag this season. We can't sort of camouflage that. I mean, what happened at the end of last season, the way he was treated at the end of last season, didn't know if he was sort of going to be in a job 2 weeks after the end. So there was a thought about changing the managers. So if Man United don't get off to a good start, that pressure's going to heat up. So I think it was a huge result for him here tonight.
I think it's going to be stop-start, not